Oh, hey you. It's Kat and Steve with the Positively Midwest podcast.
Well, hello there. Now, before this next episode, let's talk about sharing our mission.
To help, we have hooked up with Anchor.fm to help us keep launching Positively Midwest to as many ears as possible. The more we expand our reach, the more lives we can help inspire.
If you haven't heard of Anchor, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. Bonus, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Well, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google, and many more.
You can make money with no minimum listenership, which helps our cause.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in just one place.
So go now, download free Anchor app or go to anchorapp.fm to get started.
Now, sit back and enjoy the next episode of the Positively Midwest podcast. Well, hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Positively Midwest podcast. My name is Steve Jurgens, and across from me, as always, is my wife, Catherine.
Well, hello.
So, we've got another exciting episode, because I think they're all exciting. This is episode number 82, Whoa. And yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, we're gonna, actually, let's do a quick little update. So, last week, Catherine was busy, so I did a solo episode, and we talked a little bit about antidepressants. And so I had the appointment and ended up getting prescribed Effexor, XR, something like that. So, anyways, it comes in 75, 150, and 225 milligrams, I think. And so I was prescribed 150 milligrams. And you can certainly do more research online as well, but my experience with it right off the bat was pretty intense. So I was sweating a lot. That was one of the common side effects. Almost like, I don't know what a hot flash feels like, but it seemed like it was a hot flash. So, and then a couple times in the morning, my eyes were kind of dilated, and so I felt very anxious the first few days, and even when we had our daughter's birthday party, parents were dropping them off, and I was kind of like hiding out in the kitchen a little, and just felt weird. I just felt not like off, but just very weird. So called the doctor up and talked to them about it, and I did some further research, and he did say in the beginning that maybe I could have took 75 milligrams or like cut it in half, but I took the capsule version, which got approved through the doctor because I had to recall, but it was like $60 some cheaper. So if I'm doing this every month, $6.66 actually is a hell of a lot different than 60. So anyways, yesterday I felt a lot better, and it didn't really mess with my sleep patterns so much, except I toss and turn more than I usually do, and I just was sweating like a buttload, and that was probably the worst. So now today I feel a lot better. So today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 6 days. And most of those side effects subside within a week or so. And so just as soon as they called back, it was, I was feeling almost more like under control. And they confirmed that it can heighten anxiety, can heighten some of what your symptoms are as a side effect until your body kind of gets a little bit used to it. So, but that's the first week. So we're looking into 4 to 6 weeks, anywhere in between there, before it officially takes control. And I mean, we're all probably emotional roller coasters. Oh, cottonmouth. Mm-hmm. Really had that a lot too, still do. So you might hear me sipping on some water. But anyways, I feel really good right now and last night. And so I'm not going to begin to say that that's because this stuff has taken a hold, because scientifically they say that's not true, but maybe it's a peace of mind or just feeling really good because I don't feel like that, because holy
Right.
shit, I was flying like a kite, it felt like. So there's the update.
Yeah. I'm
So-
proud of you.
Thank you. So hopefully that it, continues to maybe inspire other people or whatever. I'm just going to share my journey and you do with it what you will. So today's episode is number 82, and it's something about like the positivity of talking with your teen about dating.
Oof, duh.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah, I'm not ready.
yeah. So I found an article through goodtherapy.org, 9 tips for talking to teens about dating and relationships. And holy crap.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready for this topic to be like seriously for really at our doorstep. For really. Total for really. But
And everybody thinks their children are beautiful, but our daughters are absolutely gorgeous. And so
so he's afraid that boys are going to be knocking down the door.
they're going to be dating people.
And I think what sparked it is that we had, so I have this acquaintance and her daughter, I was trying to not like say too much. Okay. So I have an acquaintance and her daughter's like, oh, I know your daughter. She's dating so-and-so. And I was like, huh? Oh, apparently my kid doesn't tell me those things, which of course she denied. And she's like, you probably wouldn't let me anyways. And I said, well, at this point, it's not like you ever see him during this summer. And so as long as there's nothing inappropriate going on in text messaging, I mean, I guess it's not like I'm going to freak out if you say you're dating somebody, because I really don't believe you are. But like, so thus is now the path we are on to having these discussions.
It happened. You knew it would, but you didn't think it would happen so quickly. In spite of any hope you had of slowing down the clock, you woke up one day to find that your child is not so childlike anymore. Suddenly, hormones are raging, romantic feelings are developing, and, of course, it doesn't stop there. Before you know it, your teen may be entering the dating world.
Oh.
For many, raising a teenager is the most intimidating chapter of parenthood. Discipline becomes increasingly difficult and may feel impossible to maintain. It's tough to know when to set rules and when to give freedom, when to bend and when to stand firm, when to intervene and when to let live. Communication is often one of the trickiest minefields to navigate. It's a struggle to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. These conversations and decisions only become more challenging when the time comes for your teen to start dating. As we near the end of Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, we want to remind parents how important it is to do their part to help prevent teen dating violence and promote healthy relationships. If you are a parent to a blossom teen, consider discussing these crucial aspects of relationships with your child before he or she enters into a relationship.
Are you wishing you would have read some of that beforehand?
No, it was February 27th, 2015, and it just says by the goodtherapy.org staff. So I'm guessing February must be that. So, I mean,
His face looked a little surprised when he read that part. That's all I'm saying.
well, yeah, because we are raw and organic. We do what we do. So, number 1, define a healthy relationship. Be sure to teach your teen about the foundations of a healthy relationship. Explain that a healthy relationship comes from respect, mutual understanding, trust, honesty, communication, and support. A relationship should consist of healthy boundaries that are established and respected by both partners equally. A good partner will accept you as you are, support your personal choices, and praise you for your achievements. A healthy relationship also allows both parents to maintain outside interests and friendships, and does not hinder the personal freedom of either partner.
So I think a lot of that, honestly, can be... Is mimic the right word? Like your children are learning this behavior by your relationships at home. If you are in a healthy relationship as an adult, you are teaching your children the habits of a healthy relationship. because they are learning how to be treated. I think that was the thing that we talked about the other day, right, Stephen, is you're wanting to exemplify. Is that the right word? Make an example.
Emulate? Or
yeah, like how you want our girls to be treated. So to treat me in a certain way is showing our girls how they should expect to be treated. They don't need to be put on a pedestal, okay? Your child is not a princess. She does not need to be put on a pedestal because you are going to be setting her up for some wildly crazy expectations that are not realistic. I'm going to be very blunt in saying that. But to treat them with that respect, that love, that kindness. If you are showing your partners that in your home, you are teaching your children how to treat their significant others.
Well, interestingly enough, I was going to say that, but then talk about how I was such a bad husband. So you nailed that. And we were on the same page, and that's not very often.
Whoa.
Number 2, describe the different types of abuse and associated warning signs, which I think that this can be important as I kind of skim through the headline or the terms and the definitions here. But, I would hope that like your child would, or our child would understand, but there's many different types of abuse your teen should be aware of before entering into your relationship. These include physical, emotional, sexual, financial, and digital abuse, as well as stalking. So I think we're all familiar with physical abuse, when someone uses physical force to harm you, but need not result in visible injuries to qualify. Hitting, kicking, pushing, biting, choking, those are all forms of physical abuse. Emotional abuse, which was probably I was the biggest offender of, can take in the form of insults, humiliation, degradation.
Like manipulation, degrading them, yeah.
Degradation? I don't know. Manipulation and intimidation. Emotional abuse can involve forced isolation or use of fear or guilt to control or belittle. Sexual abuse involves any act that directly or indirectly impacts a person's ability to control their own sexual activity and the conditions surrounding it. It can take many forms, including forced sexual activity, using other means of abuse to pressure one into activity, and restricting access to condoms or birth control. I think that's something we've just barely touched on a little, but we're pretty open that there are bad people out there, and bad people will try to force themselves upon you if given the right situation. So if someone seems weird or they're asking you weird questions, just run. Generally, Erilyn says she'll kick them in the nudies.
Well, and we've even had the conversation about, inappropriate photos, because it has been made very much aware to me by other parents that already in the middle school, intermediate school ages that inappropriate Snapchat photos go
right
out.
Now they're 13, by the way, and then one's 11 for
Almost.
a couple weeks.
Yeah. And so, she says anytime I say something about don't send any like naughty pictures, make sure you're not sending pictures of your private parts, things like that. And she's like, I'm not stupid. And I'm not saying you're stupid. And I'm not saying that all boys are that way, but there are some boys that will try to persuade a female to send
and
lewd
if you
photos.
like them enough, you might feel trustworthy to do it, and
or feel like you have to in order to make somebody like you. So even though she says she's not stupid, we do have those conversations about that can happen.
Yeah. Financial abuse is a form of emotional abuse that uses money or material items as a means of power and control over another person. Mm-hmm. Digital abuse is any form of emotional abuse using technology. A person may use social media, texting, or other technological means to intimidate, manipulate, harass, or bully someone. Stalking is persistent harassment, monitoring, following, or watching of another person. These behaviors can be difficult for teens to recognize as abuse, as they may sometimes see it as flattering or believe the other person is engaging in such behavior only out of love. If you're feeling unsure about how to teach your teen to distinguish between a healthy and unhealthy relationship, or if you would like additional resources on the warning signs of relationship abuse or promoting positive relationships, consider visiting loveisrespect.org. Love is Respect is a nonprofit organization that works to educate young people about healthy relationships and create a culture free of abuse. Its website offers a wealth of information for teens and parents and provides 24/7 support via phone, text, or chat. loveisrespect.org.
Nice.
Yeah, so
the positive sides of this, can I dive into that? Ouch. Sorry. Is that open line of communication with your teen, staying active in their life. You know, anytime that you can show that you care is going to keep that line of communication open. You know, being a part of their life, asking them how their day is going, what's going on, who are they talking to, things like that, all maintain a positive relationship with your child.
Yeah.
We apparently are into our own little sound effects things today.
I was just writing down the website. Number 3, explain the differences between lust, infatuation, and love. Distinguishing between infatuation and love can be difficult for many adults. You imagine how complicated it can be for a teenager who is experiencing many new feelings for the first time. Take a moment to explain to your teen that attraction and desire are
Philosophically.
No. Logical. Physiological.
Oh, I was way off. I was trying to read your mind.
Crickets. We're like Dumb and Dumber over here.
Gosh.
Samsonite. Responses that can occur separately from emotions. Make sure he or she understands that infatuation is not the same as love. Infatuation may give us butterflies, goosebumps, and that can't eat, can't sleep type of feeling, but it isn't the same as love. Love takes time to grow, whereas infatuation may happen almost instantly.
See, okay, I can't help but think back to our relationship because I saw this thing today on Facebook and someone's like, your teens are not supposed to be falling in love. They're supposed to be doing the dishes. Meaning like you're too young. Don't try to think that you're going to fall in love, live happily ever after, which we were those kids. So now it makes me ever wonder, when we were those 16-year-olds falling in love, were we falling in love or were we falling in infatuation? I mean, we could dive deep into our relationship.
Well, certainly there was physical attraction, and then there was, whatever, So, yeah, I mean, it's a combination of all those things, I think. Coming to age, hormones,
Because I think,
some sort of lust or whatever. And
right. And we say, like, you're not the same person 5 years ago that you are today. You won't be the same person in another 5 years that you are right now. And so it's the same thing. It's like when you're a teenager, has your mind fully developed enough to actually make that decision and those distinctions?
I don't know. But we've continued to grow, and then continue to learn. For some reason, we would stick together.
Somehow.
Where probably a lot of other people would not. So whatever that force, that spirit, that connection, whatever that was, is obviously strong and true and real because there's been some shit.
So there's become love maybe after the infatuation.
Possibly. So, number 4, talk realistically about sex. While it may be tempting to skip this conversation, it is in everyone's best interest to talk to your teen about sex. Check. Ask yourself whether you want your teen to hear this information from you or someone else. On its website, the Mayo Clinic suggests turning the topic into a discussion rather than a presentation. Be sure to get your teen's point of view and let your teen hear all sides from you. Discuss the pros and cons of sex honestly. Talk about questions of ethics, values, and responsibilities associated with personal or religious beliefs. So we pretty much ripped that Band-Aid off one night. And
yeah, we just need to maybe delve a little deeper.
Yeah. And that would probably be a good time before you have that discussion, if you're not sure what to say or how to say it, to check out that loveisrespect.org and find out a little bit more information, and then put it in your style, because everyone parents differently. So Number 5, set expectations and boundaries. It is important to set expectations and boundaries you have now regarding your teen dating rather than defining them through confrontation later. Let your teen know any rules you may have, such as curfews, restrictions on who or how they date, who will pay for dates, him, right? And any other stipulations you might have. Give your teen an opportunity to contribute to the discussion, which can help foster trust.
That's funny that you said that, because what I told the girls, is that you're not really dating at this age, because you're not really going on a date until the boy can actually drive you someplace and have his own money to pay for your meal. But until then, you're just hand holding.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's probably naive of me, huh?
Well, no, I mean, some of it I think you just have to wait it out too, like wade through it. But number 6, offer your support. Be sure to let your teen know you support him or her in the dating process. Tell your teen you can drop off or pick him or her. Lend a compassionate and supportive ear when necessary, or help acquire birth control if that fits with your parenting and personal philosophies. However you intend to support your teen, make sure he or she knows that you are available. I kind of foresee myself sitting in the back of the movie theater while they're at the movies together, and I'll just be back there eating a tub of popcorn a bucket by myself,
hiding
and
behind it.
I think I'll let her know, like, yeah, okay, you guys want to go on a date? Cool. Sit where you want. I'm sitting in this corner, and heads above the thingy and like one seat in between. I don't know. We'll see.
Stephen will be sitting in that seat between them.
Maybe. Oh. Well, anyways. Number 7, use gender inclusive language that remains neutral to sexual orientation. When you open the discussion with your teen about relationships and sexuality, consider using gender inclusive language that remains neutral to sexual orientation. For example, you might say something like, "Are you interested in finding a boyfriend or girlfriend?" rather than automatically assuming your teen has a preference for the opposite sex. Deliver this language with genuine openness and love. By opening up the possibility of being attracted to both genders right away, you will not only make it easier for your teen to be open with you about his or her sexual orientation, but you'll likely make the teen feel more comfortable with his or her identity, regardless of who your teen chooses to date. So, obviously, reading the article, so take that for what you will, because there's a lot of religious beliefs out there, and, whatever. That's not a statement, just what was in here. So, I don't know, I felt the need to clear that up, but number 8, be respectful. Most importantly, be respectful when talking to your teen about dating and relationships. If you communicate with your teen in a gentle, non-obtrusive manner that respects his or her individuality, opinions, and beliefs, then your teen will be much more likely to do the same for you. This helps you create a healthy and open line of communication between you and your child, and ultimately could improve your teen's self-esteem. So, yeah, I mean, that's one thing that we try to practice more and more now and it happens in this paragraph even. It says talking to your teen, and then later on in the paragraph it says your child. But like trying to allow our child to be a teen and realize, we need to talk to them like they're just regular human beings, and they have thoughts and feelings, and those thoughts and feelings should be validated more, even though we're the bosses, and help negotiate their mind through why we think the way we think and why you need to be this way in the world. And we don't always have patience to let that run its course. So I'm the worst at just bam, snap, and listen right now, no other option, karate chop, stop it.
Not real karate chop.
Maybe a little flick. I'll give him a little flick. Yeah, with my finger. So, but anyways, so that would be something that we would continue to work on and develop. But hey, man, you got to let your kids kind of go at some point. And wouldn't you rather have them prepared for what's out there in this world as it continues to get crazier out there, even though I'm sure every generation says that. But literally, there's I bet we could think of hundreds of different ways that your child could be affected negatively out in the world, whether it's the various kinds of social media or just in person or work or whatever.
They're becoming, you know, decision makers soon. They have lots of decisions and choices to be making in the world. And so the more that we are able to begin that conversation, like I said earlier, and open these lines of communication, helping them to understand, making good decisions, common sense, things like that, not only does that, you know, relate to dating, but life in general. So you are setting them up with like conscious decision making.
I would concur. Number 9, and the final, know when to ask for outside help. Which might be probably one of the more important ones too, really. I mean, there's a lot of different parents out there, and there shouldn't, you know, we should be able to communicate about that stuff. And that's where, again, you know, we want to find positive ways to use the internet. And there are good positive ways that you can find this kind of research and find different ways to communicate with your child that might work for you, but it's going to be awkward. So there is help available if you're struggling to talk to your teen about dating and sexuality. In addition to our advice, there are numerous resources available online to help you start a constructive conversation. Additionally, if your teen is experiencing relationship problems and or your talks about relationships aren't going well, consider finding a family therapist who can help mediate the conversations and promote emotional intelligence and healthy behaviors. Teaching your child what it means to be in a healthy relationship is simply too important of a message to leave to chance and may even save his or her life someday. The references for this article are Sex Education, Talking to Your Teen About Sex, from actually the Mayo Clinic, and then Types of Abuse, retrieved from loveisrespect.org. So, that is the article from goodtherapy.org. 9 tips for talking to your teens about dating and relationships. So I guess the positivity out of that is that, you know, by my growth, our growth, perhaps not to speak for you, but your growth, we can continue to try to help develop our children into, you know, growing young adults and eventually hanging out with dating. Just flipping dating. So that will eventually happen, and that's tough, and that's why dads cry a whole bunch at weddings. But yeah, I think we got an interesting journey ahead of us. So anything that you know, if you have any advice, you know, feel free to contact us at positivelymidwest@gmail.com, or share stories that you have or even issues that you've had, and keep it completely anonymous. We can talk about it on a future episode, do updates, send us a Facebook message through our group or our Facebook page, Positively Midwest Podcast, and you know, we can all learn together.
Yep. Nah.
Were you sleeping on the microphone?
I feel like I could.
It's like 10 o'clock. Catherine had a really long day, and I just had to go and do some training and learn stuff.
Yep.
But I exercised my brain.
That's good.
I learned Hebrew is read right to left, and there's no spaces. Yep. So it's complicated. Okay. Well, you feel good?
I feel great.
Should we close her out?
Sure thing.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for listening, and we appreciate you. Ooh. Well, thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for listening to the Positively Midwest podcast. Our hope is to inspire, engage each other's thoughts, and leave you with some great advice. Be sure to join our Facebook group and follow us on Instagram at Positively Midwest Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, share, and screenshot our podcast with all of your cool friends, because every little bit helps. We are on most all major platforms, and you can stream it directly on our website at positivelymidwest.com. Also, check out our merch in our online store. All proceeds go to help those find therapy or rehab. Please reach out to us at positively.midwest@gmail.com if you'd like to look into therapy or rehab. Thank you, and as always, please always stay positive.